Hey, most people don't end up living where they think they will when they first start looking in Knoxville. They usually come in with a plan. They've watched a few videos, they looked at Zillow, they picked out an area in their head that they think fits what they're looking for. And then they actually start going and seeing houses. They start driving the roads, seeing the neighborhood, seeing the area, seeing what's next to the neighborhood, living with the commute in real time, and that's when their plans change. So in this video, I'm going to talk about where people actually end up living in Knoxville after their search starts, when they take all those considerations into factor, and why that happens. This isn't about good or bad areas, it's about how priorities shift once Knoxville stops becoming an idea and starts becoming real life. Most buyers start the same way. They say something like, I think we want West Knoxville. They have really good schools, it's close to Turkey Creek, Parkside Drive, it's awesome. Or, we want land. We want some goats, we want some chickens. We can't do that in the city, so we're going to do that in the county. We want land probably North Knoxville, northeast, somewhere like that. And that's perfectly normal. What you don't usually start with is how they want their day and lifestyle to function. You got to think about commutes. You got to think about errands, school drop-offs, rush hours, school traffic, weeknights, weekends. And once those things get layered on, the original plan often doesn't hold up. Like I said earlier, a lot of buyers begin their search in West Knoxville. Usually they have the nicest houses there, the biggest houses, the more modern houses. It's familiar, it feels convenient. It's going to have school, shopping, newer pockets of construction. But once people actually start touring homes, two things happen. One, competition is higher than expected. Two, prices feel tighter than they looked online. Actually, and three, your neighbors, you can reach out and touch them. That's when you're going to start adjusting your expectations or start branching out. Some do stay in West Knoxville, but shift sub-areas. Others realize that they're going to pay a premium for convenience and a newer house and decide that the trade-off isn't worth it at all. Now, on the land part, a lot of people, again, come in saying they want acreage. We're coming from a big city. We want to, have trees and grass and stuff. They're drawn to areas like Gibbs, Coreyton, Halls, Strawberry Plains. And for some people, that works out perfectly. But once again, you start doing showings, reality sets in. The commute is going to be longer. The errands obviously going to take more planning. You can't just run down to the store quickly. Schools are going to matter more than you expect. And again, the area around you is going to matter more than you expect. You're going to pivot. You're not going to abandon space and land entirely, but you're going to compromise. Maybe a smaller lot, maybe a little bit closer in than I wanted, less maintenance. Not because land is bad, but because lifestyle matters more than they thought it did. Another major shift happens when buyers truly understand city versus county living. Some buyers start in the county for space and price, then realize they miss city services like trash pickups, city fire department. County usually has a volunteer fire department, shorter drives. County might not ice the roads as good as the city does. Others start in the city and then feel boxed in once they see, again, your neighbors right next door, smaller lots, tighter neighborhoods. That's when your search is going to shift between inner county pockets and city limits, or edge areas like right between the county and city that are going to blend both. Decent sized lots, but you still get some city services. This is where you're usually going to say, oh, I didn't realize it was going to feel this different. A lot of people don't plan on ending up in South Knoxville, but once you visit it, it usually clicks. South Knoxville has proximity to downtown, access to trails and outdoor space like Meads Quarry, Fort Dickerson Park, Iams Nature Trail, a slightly different place, a little bit more crunchy over there. It's going to be common for buyers to overlook it first, but then you're going to come back to it once they realize how much lifestyle matters to them. South Knoxville is often a second or third look that turns into a final decision. Another shift that's going to happen is around home layout expectations. I've talked about this before. Buyers who want open concepts and larger primary suites, or maybe ranch-style homes, newer ranch-style homes, often start closer in. Then you realize that those layouts are more common in newer development areas, maybe in the county. That's when searches move to places like Hardin Valley or outer county neighborhoods like Halls, Powell. At that point, you're not going to be choosing an area first. You're going to choose the house and the layout you want and then pick the area. Here's a pattern I see most often. People rarely end up where they plan to live. They usually end up where the commute feels more manageable. You're not stuck in traffic all the time. Your house fits your daily lifestyle. The trade-offs are going to make sense to you. The weekends feel right. There's things to do. You're not, out in BFE. Once those boxes are checked, the original target area doesn't matter as much as what actually feels like home to you. The buyers who are happiest long-term all do one thing in common. They stop trying to force a house into an area, and then they start choosing the area that fits their life. So area first, lifestyle first, maybe house second or third, I guess in that case. Once that happens, the process is going to get a whole heck of a lot easier. Less stress, fewer second guesses, no buyer's remorse, no FOMO, more confidence. If you're relocating to Knoxville, this is important. It's okay if your plan changes. That's not failure. That's alignment. We have a ton of different areas, a ton of different pockets that all could fit your needs. The goal isn't to end up where you thought you'd live. It's to end up where life is going to work best for you once you're here. Most buyers don't end up living where they started looking in Knoxville, like I said. They end up living where expectations are going to meet the reality of their life. And once that happens, Knoxville starts feeling a lot easier and a lot more like home, and we're happy to have you.